What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video where I'm going to be doing a little hair product comparison. I want to compare Alex Costa's Forte Series molding paste to Aaron Marino's Pete and Pedro putty and also the Layrite cement clay. All three of these products work very well and they're also very similar, but they have some slight differences that make them all unique. It's also worth mentioning that nobody gave me these products to talk about. I bought them all myself and I use them all on a regular basis. So let's get into some of these differences and find out which one I prefer. All right, welcome back to my channel, and as always, I'm glad that you're here. If you are new to my channel, just really quick for some reference, I'm John, and on this channel, we cover a lot of ground when it comes to men's lifestyle topics for grown-ups. Topics like relationships, health, grooming, and age-appropriate clothing that you can wear as you get older. So if that sounds all right with you, please consider subscribing and join the community of legends that shows up here twice a week for brand new videos. Okay, first things first. I want to make it very clear that this video is simply my opinion and that I admire both Aaron and Alex very much for what they're doing. And all three of these products are fantastic at what they do, and this video is in no way throwing shade at anybody. So with that said, let me explain how this is going to work. Okay, I'm going to start off by mentioning the product highlights from the brand's website. Then I'm going to start with clean, wet hair straight from the shower, and then style my hair as I normally do with all of these products. Then I'm going to come back after about an hour and then show you what you might expect after the product has settled in completely and dried down all the way. First up is Forte Series molding paste. So Forte Series is a new brand founded by Alex Costa. And if you're not familiar with Alex, he's a men's lifestyle YouTuber and entrepreneur with a large audience of young men. Now, I've met Alex a couple times now, and from what I know personally, he's a really great guy with a lot of drive and energy. The molding paste that he developed is a strong-hold, matte finish, water-soluble paste that can be used as a pre-styler and also a finish styling product. So this is going to deliver a fuller and thicker look for medium to thin hair, and it keeps your hair from looking sticky or greasy. Okay, let's hop in the shower and start with clean hair. Actually, my shower's kind of small and we're not all gonna fit, so you wait right there and I'll go shower. Okay, out of the shower with clean, damp hair. The first round, I'm gonna go with the Alex Costa, the Forte Series. So first thing I do is I like to use some argan oil, and although this looks yellow, it's actually clear. The bottle is yellow. I don't like to put anything in my hair that has any type of yellow, brown tint really at all. So the argan oil is good for heat protection because I do use a blow dryer, as you'll see in just a minute. And it also really kind of smooths your hair out, makes it nice and feels good, easy to style. Okay, after that, I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of the Forte. I'll show you exactly what I do, and I'm gonna use this as a pre-styler. I use about that much, not very much actually. Goes in the palm, just like that. Okay, rub that together. And I like to get all the way down to the roots, right? I like to just try to get all the hair, the entire length of the hair, coated with product instead of just kind of rubbing it over the top, right? That's really not doing what you really want. Okay, after that, I've got a pretty basic, cheap hair dryer, and I've also got this vented curved brush. I'm gonna go ahead and style my hair as I normally do. And as I go, I'll kind of talk about the process, but I like to use high heat and kind of a medium fan speed to start with. Okay, so right now you can feel the product sort of starting to dry and get a little bit, not sticky, but you can feel it doing what it's supposed to be doing. So right at the point where my hair is almost all the way dry, I'm gonna switch from the brush to my fingers just to add some separation. Okay, now at this point my hair is pretty much dry. I'm gonna switch to cold, and I'm gonna press the cold button all the way in, and what the cold air does, it kind of helps lock in what you just did. Okay, so this is what we've ended up with just some pre-styler. A lot of people could just run with this and it would be fine all day, But what I do is I'll add a little bit more for extra hold. I do have a little bit of volume up here, as you can see, so I want to make sure that that stays contained, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to take about as much product as I did to start with. Looks like that in my hand. And I'm going to add this right on top to lock everything in. Then what I'm going to do, and again, I'm trying to get down to the roots here a little bit, guys, just so we have a good hold kind of all the way through. And this is a little difficult to do with the camera in my face. But anyway, this is about what we're going to run with right here. So I'm going to come back in 1 hour after everything is, dried down and settled in, and then we'll see what the product looks like and how my hair feels. All right, it's been about an hour since I was here last, and this is the final result of the Forte Series molding paste. So like I said before, all of these products do a great job at what they do, right? So it's a nice hold, I can mold it, I can run my fingers through it doesn't get all crunchy. However, for me though, I like a little more separation. Also what I like is, okay, you can see how my hair looks kind of white and dry. I don't necessarily care for that overall aesthetic. However, this product is a matte finish, strong hold product that's moldable just like it is. But I think what happens for me throughout the course of the day, my hair kind of flattens out and it just looks sort of dry, right? And I want it to look not necessarily wet, but I just want it to look a little darker. And so we'll get to that with some of the other products and I'll kind of show you some examples there. But overall, this is what you can expect, a fantastic product for what it does. If maybe you don't have the type of volume that I have, or you like sort of that matte, dry look, this is absolutely going to be phenomenal for what you want. Okay, next is Pete and Pedro Putty. So Pete and Pedro was founded several years ago by YouTuber and entrepreneur Aaron Marino. And if you watch men's lifestyle content on YouTube at all, you've seen Aaron's videos. He's pretty much top dog in this space, and a lot of people call him the Energizer Bunny for good reason, but I'm glad to call him a friend. So the putty provides a firm yet flexible hold with a touch of shine, which is ideal for medium and short hairstyles. It's going to give you a matte finish with hold and control and no crunchiness or greasiness. It's also water soluble, so it's going to wash out very easily, leaving no residue. Okay, and we're back one more time with fresh, showered, clean, damp hair. And again, I'm going to go ahead and run with the argan oil. There we go. And I'm going to touch base a little bit and go back to what I said earlier about not wanting to put anything in my hair that's colored, especially like items that are like yellow or brown and things like that. A couple years ago, I used a pomade that was brown and it turned my hair this sort of tannish yellow, and I really did not like that. Okay, this time we're going to run with the Pete and Pedro Putty, if you can see that. And as you can tell, I do use this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit, about the same amount that I used before with the Forte. This is what it looks like in the palm. Go ahead and rub this in, and rub this in really good. Get a lot of heat going. This is a little bit pasty, so just make sure you get a lot of heat going, and this is kind of what it looks like on your hands. Get this all the way again down to your scalp, all over the hair. And once you've got it all blended in, I'm going to go ahead and blow dry in the same manner as I did before. And right at this point, when I switched over to my hand using my finger comb, you can really feel it starting to set up. Okay, so here we go. This is just with pre-styler in, and you can kind of see what this is looking like. I do enjoy this separation that I've got, so I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more as a final step to just kind of lock everything in. And I'm going to use about the same amount that I used the first time. Not too much, about like that. Same deal. We're going to blend this into our hands nice and even, so it kind of looks like this. And then get it all the way in there. And we'll come back, just like before, in about an hour, and we'll see what everything looks like as it's dried down, and we'll give you my thoughts at that point. Okay, it's been about 2 hours since we put in the Pete and Pedro Putty, And this is what we got, right? So not too bad, but if your hair is shorter than this, if you don't have all this business I've got going, then I'm sure it will be just fine for you. Just like the Forte series would probably be just fine for you as well. Not too bad. It does dry out a little bit over time. It's still moldable. I can still mess with it. I can still put it back where I want it to be. So let's go ahead and look at the final one, the Layrite Cement Clay. I got to get back in the shower for the fourth time actually today. And we'll get that one going and show you that one coming up next. Layrite was founded in 1999 by barber Donnie Hawley. He was tired of traditional petroleum-based products that his clients were using that would never rinse out. So he developed a water-soluble pomade and then grew his brand from there. The Layrite Cement Clay is a high-hold, matte-finish clay that provides all-day hold without weighing down your hair. It thickens and texturizes, doesn't dry out, and it never flakes. It's also reworkable throughout the day without adding water. Okay, fresh out of the shower one more time. And just like before, we're starting with the argan oil. Okay, now we're gonna run with the Layrite Cement Clay. As you can see, it's about half gone. I do use this quite a bit. Going in here, we're getting a little dauble, just about like that. It looks like that in the palm. And we smear it around and we'll put it in the hair. This one is kind of a sticky, creamy sort of consistency. The Pete and Pedro is kind of pasty and a little bit like clay almost. It's kind of dry. And the Forte series is more like kind of a soft cream, right? Okay, right about now I'm going to switch over to my finger comb, and you can really start to feel the hold coming on right about now at this point. Okay, so this is where we're at now with dry hair, and after one dose of the Layrite. I mean, at this point I could probably almost be done because this stuff does hold so well, but I'm going to give it a little bit more. If I can get a little bit more, just to be even with everybody else. Looks about like that in the palm. And this is going to finish everything off and give me a nice strong hold for pretty much the rest of the day. All right, so we're going to run with this and we'll come back in another hour and we'll see how this is working out. Okay, it's been about an hour and a half since putting in the Layrite Cement Clay. And so this is what we're dealing with, right? So we've got a lot of separation, a lot of texture, and I can run my hands through this pretty much the entire day. I do get a little bit of residue though on my hands, which is pretty typical for all three of these, but maybe a little bit worse with the Layrite. I like the separation, I like the hold, and if you notice, my hair looks a little bit darker. I think that may be due to some of the ingredients in here, but it doesn't dry my hair out. I can mess it up and it just still is always going to look piecey and separated with a ton of texture. And it still looks a little damp, right? It doesn't look like wet or anything, but it still looks sort of damp. And I do kind of like that, right? Okay, let me try to wrap all of this up with a bow and give you my impressions of all three. So first things first though, all of these products are great and they do exactly what they say they do. I've got no problem using any of these and I will continue to use all three. But personally, I've got specific needs and characteristics that I'm looking for from a hair product. All three of these are very similar, but one in particular checks a few more boxes. First, let me wrap up the molding paste from Forte. Great product. Easy to apply, easy to work with, and it washes out cleanly. And in terms of overall hold, it might be the least strong of all three, but it still holds incredibly well. Now, Forte recently launched a bunch of other new products, so if you're watching this, Alex, I'd love to try your argan oil and the shampoo set. But anyway, like I mentioned, this is a great product. And if you want to go see everything else Forte Series has, the link for their website is down in the description. Next, let's go ahead and wrap up the Pete and Pedro putty. So as you saw, this is another great product that does exactly what it says it'll do. It's got great hold, it's easy to work with, and it washes out super easy. And just like all three products, I like that you can just kind of run your fingers through your hair throughout the day and add a little more texture and volume, and you're good to go. So if you like a matte finish with a solid hold, you'll be very happy with the putty or the molding paste. Pete and Pedro has an extensive inventory of men's hair care, fragrance, and grooming products, so if you want to go check out their site, the link is in the description. And finally, the Layrite cement clay. So if I was stranded on a deserted island and I could only take one, I think this would be it, because it's the one that I reach for most often, but not because I don't like the other two, right? It just has a little something extra and it checks one more box for me. I like my hair to have texture and separation without feeling weighted down, right? And I like that slight damp look to my hair so it doesn't look so dry and Santa Claus white. The cement clay doesn't dry up during the day and I can go from morning to evening and it'll look the same. Again, I'm sure it's probably a specific ingredient that gives me that, but it's just the one that I end up using the most. So if you want to go check out everything from Layrite, the link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you're a subscriber, I'll see you in just a few days for another brand new video. But until then, my friends, live well, and I do hope to see you again very soon.